Okay guys, at this point you should already be primed and have seen the video on what meditation is. Okay, that details the way that you should approach it, how your mind should essentially be processing the experience while it's going on. And this video is just going to focus on the logistics of how to meditate itself, okay, looking at the form, the structure, and the process as a whole. Now what's unique about the approach within weightlessness is that we generally practice standing rather than seated, rather than lying down. Both of which are okay if you are too exhausted or if you are doing additional practice on top of your daily protocol. But in general, at the end of the workout, when we practice this bit, you want to be doing it on your feet if you can. Okay? If you happen to do it seated, you want to make sure that the feet are flat on the ground, straight ahead. You want to make sure you're sitting on a hard surface, not something soft, not a cushion, and that the back is straight and unsupported. Okay? A lot of pointers there. We're not going to go into too much detail because I want you to do it standing. So the structure first. The feet will be within the range of a foot apart from one another. It could be a little bit wider. You're going to start by extending the legs all the way and then slightly bending. We want all the joints in the body to have a slight bend. This is going to ensure that blood continues to flow. It doesn't cut off circulation by having straight joints. The difficulty with this in the beginning is that your heart rate is probably still going to be up a little bit, so calming down from this posture will take a little bit of practice, but it will also pay off a lot more as well. Okay, so feet outside edges are straight, knees slightly bent, back is straight, but not with sharp military style. You're going to have the tailbone slightly tucked under here. Okay, left hand, right hand over the lower abdomen. Belly button is here. We're going to be just below that. Shoulders back, down, and relaxed. Head pulled up by the center of the crown point. And if you'd like, you can place the tongue in the roof of the mouth just behind the palate. That's more working into advanced types of meditation in the weightlessness spectrum, and it's optional, but it's something you could start early to get familiar with. So, within this type of posture now, most of us are used and practiced in upper chest breathing this way. This is a natural breath when we're under stress and when we're exercising to get more oxygen into the body. But what we need to do is learn to expand and fill the full range of the lungs when we're at rest and breathe much farther down. Now, babies and infants naturally breathe from the abdomen. Their chests don't do a lot of work, and if they do, it's a wave that comes up at the very end. Okay? But as adults, we forget how to breathe this way, and in a lot of ways, that's what creates anxiety and stress in the body because we're not able to fully relax and release it, and that's done a lot through breathing through the lower abdomen. Okay? So even for, if you just watch for a few seconds, the difference in this type of breath, the first breath, which is not correct, and the second type of breath, which is correct, okay, watch the chest for the first few seconds. Hopefully you see very little movement, but the abdomen is expanding all the way down, okay? It's not just diaphragmatic breathing from here, where the diaphragm expands. The whole lower portion of the abdomen should relax, and especially a lot of women, a lot of athletes, we get used to tucking in the lower abdomen because it makes us look better in clothes or even on the beach. You have to try to relax this so that you can breathe practically and release all the tension from the body, okay? So after you've got all these points stuck together, you can take a few seconds to analyze the body, okay? Mentally look at your feet. Do you feel any tension in the feet? Work your way up below the knees. Do you feel any tension in the calves or the shins? You can flex a little bit, rock back and forth. Breathe in, and then breathe out to release all the tension there. You can work your way up a little higher, and you can tense or flex if you need to really have a strong contrast between tension and relaxation. Check that. Breathe in a few times, and every time exhale, release tension from those points. Work your way up the body, squeeze the back, squeeze the chest, lift the shoulders, look for tension here. Relax the forehead, the jaw, the cheek, the jaw. Let everything drop, okay? It's not meditation, it's just preparatory. We need to check for any tension that's lingering. Okay. After that's done, then we're just going to proceed with what we already know, which is that we need to be here. We need to be here now. My breath is the most immediate experience. It keeps me alive from one moment to the next, so I'm observing my breath from one moment to the next as it comes in and leaves. So my mind stays here, but I'm also able to perceive and aware of more things that are going on at the same time. I'm keeping my center, but my awareness, my consciousness is expanding throughout that process. Okay? If a thought pops up in the beginning, try to bring your mind back to that center. Don't judge the thought, just try to come back. And we are going to do a test right now just for 1 minute, and you guys can do it with me. Now, when you're practicing at the end of your program, do it straight through, put in your 5 minutes. Your mind will jump a little bit, but we're just going to do 1 minute together right now, and we're going to try to keep it honest. So, let's get to it. Left hand over right, just below the navel, checking for tension in the body, observing the breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, remaining with the breath, okay? We're going to test this for only 1 minute. You're going to do it with me. Stand up, check your stance. This is only going to last for 1 minute, okay? And follow along. Breathe in and begin. Okay. Guys can open your eyes. So that was exactly 1 minute. The test is, were you able to maintain awareness of the breath and sensitivity in the body for the entire minute, or did your mind skip and go to something else in that time frame? If you are like most of us, your mind probably did skip, and this should show you how crucial and how important this type of practice is. If you cannot keep your mind centered and focused and maintain a state of awareness for even 1 minute, and if we're talking about peak performance, I mean, we're talking about peak performance in the broad spectrum of things. If you can't concentrate for 1 minute, how does that reflect your ability to concentrate and remain aware or empathetic when you're at work or in a conversation or learning a new skill or doing anything for that matter? This is the most simple of practices technically. We are standing here, we are being present, we are aware of the breath. And if you guys made it through the minute, congratulations, you are in an elite class of people, or you just are feeling that pump and excited for a new program and we're able to really push through. Most of us struggle though. And if you struggle to maintain complete awareness of the breath for that 1 minute, take that seriously. Think about that. And every time that you practice this at the end of your program, at the end of your workouts, treat those 5 to 10 minutes as it's a gift. I mean, it's that one time in your day or in your life out of everything that you have going on where you get to be you, for you, doing something without any distractions, without being somewhere else, for someone else. It's that time when you get to live pure life. I mean, that's the beauty of that practice. That was only for 1 minute. Five minutes. If you can concentrate for 5 straight minutes without losing that, you are at a very advanced level. If you can do it for 10 minutes, this is elite. Most people will never get to that stage. People talk about practicing meditation for an hour or doing these. This is nonsense. Most of us can't even maintain concentration for 1 to 5 minutes. Do it in small doses, but do it regularly. Be aware of your breath. The idea is not that you do more and more time with this. The idea is that it starts to transition. You start walking down the street or going to the subway, and all of a sudden you start to realize, I'm aware of my breath, and I didn't used to be. You start to realize I'm breathing from my lower abdomen and not from my chest, and I didn't used to be. And these things start to crop up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, a lot more of life, daily life, becomes meditation without even trying to. That's the whole point. That's what we want to get to. This right now, and what you do at the end of your workouts, this is practice. This is practice for the big game. But life is the big game. And you want to be able to perform, to be aware, to be focused, to be fully conscious at all those times that are important. With family, at work, doing your sports, studying, anything like this. So put your time into this one. It's at the top. It's at the top of the list of priorities of importance within a program like this. Everything leads to meditation.